It is exactly 2 minutes to 1. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on a KTN News Desk. A busy day once again as we follow up on the nominations by both the Jubilee Party and the ODM Party. And we will definitely have our eyes on Homa Bay, where our associate editor, Noah Otieno, will be joining us with updates on how the voting process is ongoing in Homa Bay. He was in Kisumu in the morning, and he will be giving us reactions from the people after it emerged that the exercise was cancelled for Kisumu and will happen tomorrow. But of course, he will be telling us how the process is ongoing in Homa Bay. We have other reporters on various counties. They will also be telling us how the process is for both ODM and Jubilee. But first things first, we'll definitely take a look at the highlights. But before we go there, Noah, what are some of the things we expect to see in Homa Bay?
Homa Bay County, my dear Kisa, people just started voting about an hour ago, actually 2 hours ago at around 11, having delayed the process from 6 a.m. People were waiting patiently at the various polling centers that we visited in Homa Bay County. So right now, see a lot of voting going on. Peaceful process, I must say, at least as of now, Akisa.
Noah, we will be coming back to you later on, but let's first take a look at the highlights. Good afternoon. My name is Akisa Wandera. Of course, we begin with the ODM primaries that are taking place in several regions in the country, and the National Elections Board has postponed the primaries that were slated for both Kisumu and Siaya counties. Today, the board said the decision was arrived at as a result of unavoidable circumstances. The Siaya and Kisumu primaries will now be conducted on the 25th of April 2017, which is tomorrow. But let's just go back to Homa Bay County, where our associate editor is Noah Otieno, will be speaking to us in a bit. To you, thank you very much for joining us once again. You were telling us that voting just started about 2 hours ago. How is the process so far?
Akisa, the process so far has been very, very smooth, but it started late, started at 11, and I've spoken to the presiding officer here, Vincent Otieno, telling us that the reason they were so late is because they were at the central place where they were collecting the balloting material, which came, as he says, on time, but the logistical support was lacking. They lacked transportation to bring them to the polling centers. But don't take it from me. Let's hear from those who have actually voted in the process. I have with me here Mercy Collins, who's just cast her vote here at Shauri Yako Primary School polling station. Mercy, umeonaje hiyo process ya kupiga kura hapa Shauri Yako Primary School?
Tumekaa sana anzia asubuhi mpaka saa 5 ndio tumeletewa ballot box na ballot papers. Sasa tumeanza saa 5 ndio tumeanza kuvote.
Na sasa wewe umepiga kura pale ndani, unaona hiyo shughuli ya kupiga kura inaendeleaje kule ndani? Ni haraka vile ulikuwa unatarajia ama kule ndani pia kuna shida?
Nimeona inaendelea vizuri, ni haraka. Najua ikiendelea hivyo watu watamaliza haraka.
Na nimeona shughuli hii ya kupiga kura hapa Shauri Yako Primary School ni ya utulivu, si kama vile tulivyoona katika polling stations zingine kwenye mchujo wa ODM. Kwa nini mmekuwa na utulivu hii?
Ninaona tu watu wametulia, hakuna kelele, sioni kama watu wanapiga kelele.
All right, Noah? Noah?
Yes, Akisa.
All right, Noah, I will just interrupt you for a bit. I understand the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party is just giving a press. I will be coming back to you, so stay put. Let's just listen into what Tuju has to say.
A voter is on the line by 5 o'clock. They should be allowed to vote. We don't close at 5 if there are still people online. I think that's very important because we've got a lot of questions regarding that because of starting late in certain areas. The election board has also decided that on Tuesday and Wednesday we will start the voting process at 7 o'clock and not at 6 o'clock. And that's because we found out that waiting for so many agents of aspirants and so forth, a lot of them are getting late. And we need a critical number to be at the station before you start. And also just to give our officials a little bit of time, even if it's just 1 hour, to organize themselves. We also wish to clarify that no candidate has been disqualified anywhere in the country. There are some fake news doing the rounds in the social media bearing my signature and bearing the signature of the chairman of the National Elections Board that we have disqualified any candidate, and we just wish to say that it's not true. That's propaganda. I think Kenyans are very creative in making propaganda, and this I especially want to refer to Eldama Ravine constituency. No candidate has been disqualified. We have some extra developments with regard to specific constituencies, and I'd like to give the chance to the chairman of the Elections Board, Mr. Andrew Musangi, to brief you on those ones. Thank you. Andrew.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think time for the real news. First with Kirinyaga County. We'd just like to clarify that we detected an issue in Mwea constituency, Tebere Ward, where there was a shortage of ballot papers specifically for that ward. We were able to react very quickly when this information came from the ground. Extra ballot papers for up to and including the Office of Governor and the ward documents have already been flown, and in the next 1 hour these will all be on the ground and the voting process is continuing. So they are voting using the materials that were already there. The extra voting papers will be in the air and on the ground within an hour. Also relating to Kirinyaga County, Gishugu constituency, Kabere ward, the MCA ballot was printed in a format that excluded, out of I think the 19 candidates, one name got chopped off in the print, and we've managed to do a reprint including all the candidates. Now this reprint also will be in the same chopper and will be on the ground within the hour. So that voting process will continue. The ward elections, of course, were suspended given the missing name, and this anomaly has been rectified and they will be on the ground. Moving on to Sotik constituency, Kapletundo ward, there were no ballot papers for the MCA position. This was rectified this morning. A chopper was dispatched. I'm told it has arrived. The voting material is on the ground and the process is actually underway as I speak to you. In short, what we are doing is continuing to monitor this exercise for any hitches caused by human error very, very closely, and we are implementing rectification and improvement measures in real time so that nothing compromises the will or the expression of the will of the people. We are also deploying every resource available as to meet our commitment to deliver a free, fair, and credible election. Having said that, we wish to thank all the aspirants. We had their full cooperation this morning. We were receiving information from them and their agents everywhere that they detected a hitch. And I wish to thank particularly the Jubilee aspirants in these affected areas for bringing these items to our notice, for controlling the situation on the ground, and for cooperating with the party to deliver the remedial measures in good time, and we'll continue to do so. I wish to also urge our presiding officers and returning officers and remind them all to adhere strictly to the party code of conduct without exception at all. If everybody else has worked very hard to deliver a credible election and an aspirant or an RO or a PO subverts the process, this will be taken very, very sternly. Having said that, looking at the 5 counties where this process is underway today, I wish to say that we are very, very encouraged with what we've seen on the ground. We are very encouraged with the progress that's being made, and we thank all parties for holding hands together to move the Jubilee Party forward in these counties. Thank you. Sorry? Ngeongea Kiswahili. That is Tuju's job. No.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We'll take a few questions if there are questions to be asked. If there are no questions, thank you very much. It's lunchtime. Okay. No questions. Okay. Questions, please. No, I'll summarize. I'll summarize Swahili.
Those stations that have started late, what time are you planning to close? Because last time you said you wouldn't want it to go past the dark hours for the security and safety of those also coming out to vote.
Yes. We don't want the voting to go past dark. That we want to be consistent on that one. But if somebody is already on the line, by 5 o'clock, we will not stop them from continuing to vote. Yes.
How many are on standby?
Well, I think that's a logistical issue. We are committing enough resources to deal with the emergencies that we are having. I don't think we're in the business of giving the numbers of the choppers that we have on standby. We have sufficient resources to deal with that. I know the spin that you'd like to give it. Yes?
The choppers are hired on an as-need basis. Yes. You don't just keep choppers in a store.
Yeah, there were 8 that time, but now we are not saying we are doing a lot on the ground to make sure that where there are issues, we are dealing with it. Yes. Yes. Come again?
Jubilee Party Secretary General Raphael Tuju, together with the chairman of the National Elections Board, Andrew Musange, giving updates on how the Jubilee Party nomination exercise is ongoing so far, some hitches that were experienced in wards in Sotik constituency as well as Mwea. They say they will be correcting it. So after getting it wrong last week, then leaving nothing to chance this week as they take a look at how that exercise, or they conduct that exercise in various counties. Remember, today Jubilee is conducting its primaries in Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kirinyaga, Bomet and Nandi counties. Let's now go back to Homa Bay, where our reporter Noah Otieno now joins us once again. Noah, you were speaking to a number of the residents there who had been voting. How would you describe the turnout?
Well, at the polling station, Shauri Yako Primary School, where I am right now, turnout very heavy, and they've been here since 6 a.m. They waited for more than 5 hours. The process started at 11 a.m. and so far, it's going on smoothly, but don't take it from me. Let's listen again to another person who's just cast her ballot here at Shauri Yako Primary School. Her name is Maimuna Mohamed. Maimuna, umeonaje shughuli ya kupiga kura hapa Shauri Yako Primary School?
Umeona kama iko poa. Tumengojea kuanzia saa 12 mpaka saa hizi, lakini iko poa.
Sorry, umeambiwaje na wale ambao wako pale ndani, kwa sababu tumesikia kwamba karatasi za kupiga kura labda hazitatosha na watajipanga hapo jioni iwapo wataona kwamba haitatosha. Wamekuambiaje huko ndani ulipokuwa unapiga kura?
Wameniambia wanipatie tu zile makaratasi nikaandika, nikatoka vizuri.
Na wewe kama Maimuna Mohamed, unatakaje Homa Bay County? Mnaona uongozi unaendeleaje ama mnataka mbadilishe?
Tunataka mabadiliko, kwa sababu tunaona tuko kwa shimo, tunataka tuondoke nje.
Asante sana Maimuna. Akisa, that is Maimuna Mohamed, but this is a very, very hotly contested nomination process. All the to the members of county assemblies. Why? Because this is an ODM stronghold. If you get the ODM nomination ticket, basically you have been elected. The general election will just be a formality for you. And it is, for the governorship, it is a race between 5 candidates: the incumbent governor, Cyprian Awiti, the Kasipul MP, Oyugi Magwanga, businessman Sami Wakiaga, former student leader Ochieng Kanyadudi, and the consultant Enosh Bolo, who is with me here right now. And he's not a very happy man. Sir, tell us, why aren't you happy with the process so far?
Yeah. Thank you very much, KTN reporter. The reason as to why we are not really very happy and we feel disappointed and let down by our party is because this particular election, the nomination was scheduled for Friday. It was postponed so that it could be more effective, more timely. But what you observe generally is that against the backdrop of people saying that there were people with ballot boxes, ballot papers, as we began the process today, the process has been delayed in all sub-counties, all the 8 sub-counties. We've witnessed a serious delay in the startup of the process. And as the process has kicked off now, we are also experiencing less ballot papers, and therefore our people are forced now not to cast their ballot in order to elect the leader, and therefore we want the party to urgently address the issue of insufficient ballot papers that is causing anxiety amongst these people. Otherwise, as you can witness, our people are looking forward to a pragmatic leadership, they're looking forward to sustainable development, and in that particular icon, they're looking forward to a leader who can unite Homa Bay. You're aware of all that we've been going through in terms of the division amongst the people, and therefore this is the dividing line. We want a leader who can develop this county, and that's why you can see the huge turnout as they come here to cast their vote. Against the backdrop are disappointing fewer ballot papers, and therefore I'm just wondering what arrangements the party has made for them to be able, for all Homa Bayans to cast their ballot.
You said, Mr. Bolo, that you're wondering, is it that the county elections team the aspirants to explain to you why the delays happened?
Of course, we met them just one time when we were being briefed by the National Election Board from Nairobi. And since then, they only introduced to us the county election panel, and they've not introduced to the process. And therefore,
all right, our reporter No Otieno there speaking to one of the aspirants for the gubernatorial position in Homa Bay County. And as he says, the stakes are high, and we'll definitely be bringing you more details. He says voting started at 11 and the turnout is quite heavy, as he says. But of course, keep it here. We are covering these nominations, both the ODM and Jubilee, in a way only we can. Let's first take a short break. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more.